Hello. Gender inequality doesn't make sense at any level, but marginalizing the rights of women. We deny ourselves the opportunities of letting millions of men and women out of poverty, not to mention a chance of a fair world. From the girls and boys, women and men, play certain roles and behave in certain ways in the society based on the traditions, religions, and other beliefs. These behaviors are learned and shape the ways and behaviors and the norms of the society. Unfortunately, in many countries, gender norms create disadvantages for women. Often, girls are not sent to school. When they become women, they then have limited ability to earn money or realize their potential. Now, rural women play a major role in agricultural development. Okay, however, in many developing countries, women cannot formally own land. Without land, they cannot get loans to invest in their farms or businesses. It also means they have no control over the use of land or the benefits that comes from land. Okay? Men generally control the household decisions that how to use the family's assets. Then the women are always disadvantaged. Then some cultural beliefs can also restrict women opportunities, such as in parts of Africa, where women cannot paddle their boats as it's considered an omen, considered a bad omen. The result of these issues, which is women remain poor and agricultural production cannot reach its potential, perpetual poverty and hunger in developing nations. Now, the social norms that limit women's opportunity need to be understood and then changed by taking a gender transformity to the pouch. Then we can now influence the social norms and bridge the gaps in access to resources and services between men and women. In the lasting manner, change is needed on many levels, and both men and women must be involved for it to happen. Now, research and development organizations need to invest in programs that promote gender equality alongside improving productivity and incomes. Policies need to be implemented and increased access to services and resources. Communities need to support women as farmers and as leaders in increasing women's voice and agencies in a valuable end in its own right. When developing organizations, policies, and communities support success of women, we have a chance to reduce extreme poverty, increase prosperity for girls and boys, women and men around the world. Now, watch and listen to the next clip on gender inequality and domestic violence.
Mele and Jacob are the same age. They grew up in the same village. Growing up, they learned different roles for men and women. Mele helped her mum with cooking, cleaning and childcare, while Jacob helped with outdoor work. He has more free time. Their rigid views of masculine as strong and protective and feminine as caring and serving were formed. Jacob learns that anything feminine is associated with weakness. He is teased if he shows emotion and told he kicks like a girl if he plays poorly. Jacob learns that women are valued less, boys are better than girls. Mele learns that she can't do everything the boys are allowed to do. As Mele grows into a teen, men start commenting on her body. She is told to cover herself, don't walk alone or after dark. She is made responsible for preventing men's behavior. Meanwhile, Jacob sees his friends harassing women. It makes him seem powerful. He does it too, so his friends will respect him. The two start a relationship and both begin looking for work after high school. Mele struggles to find work. She accepts a low-paid office job. Jacob finds a higher-paying job more easily and becomes the breadwinner. Mele is dependent on Jacob for financial support. Mele does all the household chores and cares for her grandparents and their growing family. Jacob gets angry if the dishes aren't done or his clothes aren't clean. He expects dinner to be ready when he gets home. He makes major decisions for both of them. After all, he earns the most. When he starts to hit Mele, he blames her for it. He says she provokes him, that she needs to try harder. that it's her role as a partner to serve him, they are not equals. Mele turns to her pastor for help. He asks her to consider her own role. He reminds her that we cannot change others, but we can work to improve ourselves and be patient. In this way, church teachings can be interpreted to justify gender inequality and maintain the status quo, leaving Mele without help and Jacob in control. The police visit the house. They discourage Mele from pressing charges, downplay her experiences, and encourage reconciliation. Gender inequality can be reinforced even by people who are there to help, leaving Jacob unchallenged. Mele's safety is considered less important than maintaining harmony. Gender inequality is the result of the belief that men and women have different rights and entitlements. It means that men's opinions and desires are more important than those of women. It is created and maintained through social norms, socialization of children, and institutional and structural barriers, as we've seen with Mele and Jacob. This inequality is the cause of domestic violence. Inequality between men and women and parents and children gives some people power over others, which can lead to abuse. It is embedded in the belief that women's purpose is to serve and obey, and men's role is to lead. When domestic violence is recognized as a result of gender inequality, it becomes clear that a lot of excuses for violence are just that, excuses. Domestic violence is not caused by alcohol, poor tempers, disobedient women, uncompleted household tasks, or any other excuse. It is caused because of the belief that men are entitled to have their desires met and to be obeyed, and this is power, this is gender inequality. Gender inequality is deeply rooted in our society and the source of domestic violence. But domestic violence also reinforces gender inequality. It is a vicious cycle. Family, school, and church can address gender norms and attitudes in children before they become ingrained. Media affects how people view each other. Working towards representation of equal relationships between genders can help change people's minds. Gender inequality programs, such as improving support and response services, must include men and women. To summarize, gender inequality causes domestic violence. Domestic violence is fueled by inequality, power, and control. Domestic violence is often blamed on excuses. Gender inequality and domestic violence are a cycle. Domestic violence is a violation of human rights. We can stop the cycle of violence by working together to transform harmful social norms. In an equal society, everyone thrives.
Thank you for watching this video, and please do ensure to complete your assignment and upload properly. Please be good.